Welcome everyone to Raw Sport. We're back with another big show, banger of an episode, another great guest, Mr. Tony Sheehan. How are you, buddy? What's going on?
Good morning, Albert. I can't believe we're at 52 episodes and another huge guest, which I'm looking forward to grilling in the next couple of minutes.
We welcome today Mr. Jalen Tait, Australian champion, on the show. Jalen, how are you, brother? How's things, mate? What's been happening?
Yeah, awesome. I'm good, mate. How about yourself?
Very well, thank you. Jalen, you got a big event coming up, main event, big show. Before we get into all that, who is Jalen Tait? Where did this journey start for you, mate?
Who was Jalen Tait? The boxing journey started for me when I was on the off season of rugby league when I was 13, 14. And I walked into the PCYC, just give it a go. I mean, you get fit and you learn to defend yourself. Ended up enjoying it a lot. So had one amateur fight, was supposed to just leave it at that. And just kept going. And I never went back to rugby league and I fell in love with the sport. And the rest is history, I think.
Take us through your amateur career, mate. You had one fight, and then what happened, mate? You went and kept going?
Had one fight, lost that by split decision. And but I was just happy that I'd done it. I was just, the feeling was just unlike anything I'd ever felt before, being in there fighting in front of a crowd. But I just kept going. After I won my second one, won my third one, lost my fourth one, and then from there I didn't lose after that, and I haven't lost since. So, Wow. Won a few nationals, a few golden gloves, a few state titles, and wanted to go pro as soon as possible. So.
Well, Jalen, what was your driving ambition to become a boxer? And we know you're a good NRL player as a kid, but what's driving you? I mean, do you like the physicality? Do you like the money? Do you like the fame? What is it?
I do enjoy the fighting. I think more so than anything else. But the money's good too. Money would be nice. But my driving force is just to prove to myself that I can get to the absolute top, and just like, well, anyone else can do it, well, why can't I? You know what I mean?
Is your boxing career at a stage where you can fight professionally without having to do other work?
Not currently, not at the moment, but I'm still running PTs on the side and that, so I'm still allowed to stay at the gym. But I'd like for it to get to that point eventually, and I feel like this next fight is going to lead to something like that.
So for all your fans out there, you're a personal trainer. Whereabouts?
In Townsville, just out of the gym that we train out of.
Beautiful. What's the gym called?
I train out of a gym called Knuckles Boxing Gym.
Knuckles Boxing Gym. Interesting title. Yep.
Yeah. So it's not my gym actually. I use it. It's for a mate of mine. So Matty Rooney, he just gave me the key and gives me free reign in the gym. So it's good.
So you basically look after all of Townsville. Just you do the mums, the influencers, the dads, the up and coming boxers.
I try to my best ability, and then they look after me.
Oh, that's great, mate. Now, you and I were talking off camera before, and Ahmed wasn't in the chair then, but you're down on the Gold Coast in training camp currently for your 20th of July fight in Southport.
Yeah, to get that, just to get that high class sparring down here with the boys like Dana Coolwell and Bruno Tarimo and that, just get me real fighting fit for this 10-rounder coming up. Wow.
Jalen, what was it like transitioning from the amateur ranks to the pro ranks?
From my experience, because I fought in the league, which is different to the association, the pathway you go down to go to the Olympics. I didn't fight in that association. Then their style is a bit different. But the league I fought in is more pro style anyway. They let you punch on a bit more, so I feel like the transition was easier for me. It wasn't too far off what I'd already been doing, and the difference was the rounds were longer and there were more rounds. But and the business aspect of it. But
why'd you not fight association?
I weren't interested in the Olympics. I mean, or any of that realm of boxing. I just wanted to go pro as soon as I turned 18, and I felt like it's too much of a. There's a million boxers in the association, and sometimes there's favoritism. So no matter how good you are, it's more so who you know, really. And if you waste your time trying to get there and then you don't, and it's like, well, now I'm too old to go pro, kind of thing.
Is that something that was actually evident to you, that there was favoritism for certain boxers to go to the Olympics?
I feel like it, yeah. Just and just well, what club they're from, or who their trainer is, or who they're mates with, kind of deal. When there's a lot of talented. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do send a lot of talented fighters away, but some of them have been questionable choices. But
that's a really good comment. Do you think that's a marketing ploy by those in charge to send certain looking blokes, or white blokes, or blokes with tattoos, or blokes without tattoos?
It could be. Yeah, I've never considered that. I mean, yeah. End of the day, it's their decision. Can't really change it that much.
And it's still, there's no regrets about not desiring to go to the Olympics. No one in your family or your missus or your mates have said, why didn't you go down this pathway?
I don't regret it. People have asked me before, and then when I explained to them why, and they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like a world title means more than a gold medal at the Olympics, personally. But everyone's got a different opinion.
Ahmed, that's an incredible statement.
Absolutely, considering his opponent fought in the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics, and he aspired to actually win medals in both. So it's very interesting. You got two different journeys facing off. So it's going to be a really interesting night on July 20th. Before we get into all that, I just thought I would just throw it in there because that was a perfect segue. Who's been your biggest inspiration throughout your journey, Jalen?
My biggest inspiration? Well, he's fighting for a world title this weekend. Liam Paro. He's a North Queensland boy as well. When I started boxing, he was training at the gym that I started training at, and I'm a southpaw as well. And he was my first mentor in the sport, and I've always looked up to Liam. So yeah, he's my brother. He's inspired me even to this day. I mean, he'd probably influenced me to take this path, really, if I think about it. Yeah.
Does it help when he's over in Puerto Rico standing on a beach opposite his opponent?
Sorry?
He's over in Puerto Rico standing on a beach opposite his opponent, preparing for his next bout.
Oh, yeah, no, I just saw that. Nah, I reckon, he'll go good, Liam. He doesn't lose. That's all. Yeah.
Do you think he's got just to step aside away from your career, but do you think Liam has a legitimate shot at it's MATIAS, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, Liam's smart. Liam's a smart boxer. But I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for his boxing IQ. I feel like he hasn't achieved. Yeah, he hasn't gotten his flowers for how good he actually is in Australian boxing. Anyway, I mean, they recognize his talent more so over in America. But yeah, no, he's a brilliant tactician in the ring, man.
That seems to be a lot of where Ahmed and I speak to many boxers throughout many different weight divisions, both in Australia or overseas. And the one thing that we seem to be hearing a lot from the Australian guys is, unless you are aligned to a certain promotion, that you're not a household name when you should be.
It's just the way it is, man. I mean, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it just seems to be the way it is in Australian boxing. It's just the hardest platform to get big on in this country, I think, because it's more of a footy or AFL country. It's that the combat sports. It's starting to shine through in the UFC and that. We're starting to get big up there, but yeah, it'd be nice to see more of that in boxing.
Well, you're fighting on the biggest platform in the country, which is Channel 7+. How much is that? Well, from what you see, how much do you think that's going to make a difference to the sport?
I think it's great because it costs nothing. And it's just someone could just randomly, oh, what's this? Click on that. Oh, it's boxing, and might get interested, and you might make fans that way. Anyone can watch it. It's accessible to everybody. So it's you're not paying outrageous amounts of money to watch fighters fight. It's just nice and simple for everyone.
Do you think it's good? We think it's good for you, but do you feel added pressure fighting on a card which is going to be shown all around the country on 7+?
I don't think it's. I wouldn't call it pressure. I think it motivates me to train harder and work harder and fight the best fight I've ever fought. I think.
What does this fight mean to you, Jalen? How important is this fight to Jalen Tait?
I think this is a very important fight for me to win because I think from here if I get this belt, it puts me into the top 10 ranking in the IBF, and from there it's just from there the world champion can see my name, and then that's just then the dream's like, oh, the goal's right there. It's just a straight line. We just got to keep working now.
Ahmed, I can feel his energy through the computer.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it, mate. He loves it. Jalen, your opponent had a stellar amateur career, and it's been rocky for him in the pros. He's had ups and downs, but his last fight was a very big win for him. A huge upset against Yusuf Dib. How much do you take from that fight?
It was a good fight. I think no, it was a good. Both those boys are good. I don't want to talk bad on any of them. It was a good fight to watch. Good clean boxing match. Ibby just had the smarter game plan in the end. I feel like.
Hey, Ahmed, I want to ask Jalen, and you don't have to answer this, but we've spoken to Rocky Ogden last week and also Stephen Baker, the ex-St Kilda player, about how they build themselves up before a fight. Do you abstain from girls and looking after yourself?
I've never believed in that. Really, I've never believed that myth. I feel like it's just if you do your training, that shouldn't affect it at all. But if you think it's going to affect it, then it will. I'm of that opinion. If you think, oh no, I can't, and then it will affect you. But I've never thought that.
Have you tried out both strategies?
Oh yeah, I have actually, and it really doesn't. I feel if anything, I feel better if I just go the undisciplined way. You just feel more relaxed.
Yeah, let out some tension. It's funny because
threw me off guard. That one, no one's ever asked that one.
Well, it's just because Mike Tyson was an obvious proponent of not doing. I think for one fight, Tyson went 3 months of abstaining, which I think kind of fried his brain. But then we spoke to Rocky Ogden, and he's tried a couple of things. And then Stephen Baker was asking Ahmed. Ahmed's had some fights in his younger years, and I think it's sort of something that's unspoken, but a lot of people want to know about.
I think it's just up to your own experience. I mean, you experiment on your own, and then make your own decision up. You can't just follow everybody else, I think.
Yeah, we like to throw a few curveballs on the show, mate. You got to be prepared.
That was a good one.
Hey, Jalen, what would you say is the biggest thing you've learned across your journey so far?
Biggest thing I've learned. Oh, that's a difficult question, man. Biggest thing I've learned.
Is there any regrets? Anything that you would do differently?
I've absolutely got no regrets of how I've done things so far. I think I'm really enjoying the path that I'm on and the journey that I've gone through at this point. And I'd do it all again, I think.
Hey, Ahmed, I'll tell you what he doesn't regret is not fighting in Melbourne.
Nah, too cold, man. Absolutely.
Is it something that you've become accustomed to as being a North Queenslander?
Yeah. I was raised in the humidity and the heat, man. So yeah, anything below 30 is freezing.
So you wouldn't fight anywhere south of Sydney?
No.
Wow. See, Ahmed, I told you this place is too cold.
No.
It's freezing.
That's unreal that place is in Australia. There's no way.
Hey,
I can't believe people live there.
Ahmed, I was talking to Jalen, and Jalen hasn't shaved his beard since he was 19.
Wow.
Well, I've always had faith, and I would shave it, but I just can't remember what my chin looks like, and it's too much of a risk.
Makes you look younger, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, jeez. All right, Jalen, what do you do outside boxing?
Outside of boxing,
Yeah, what do you do?
I like to muck around on music a bit. I like the guitar and drums and that, and sing here and there. But and then I like walks. I just like going for a walk, put my music in, go for a walk, and it just clears my mind. I get to forget about fighting for a bit before I have to go back.
What's your go-to music?
Rock and roll, metal.
Like Metallica?
Yeah, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Slipknot, Pantera,
All the good stuff.
anything. Yeah. Even the softer rock. I like Oasis and that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to tune out and just.
Yeah, man. Just tune out. Forget about fighting for a bit. Reset. Come back, and I feel good to go again.
Does boxing consume you? Every time you're awake, all the time you're awake.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at managing it. When I'm training, I'm into it. There's nothing. Can't get my mind off it. But then when I'm outside of the gym, I'm pretty good at switching off from it until I have to go again. But yeah, there is times where I just when I'm having lunch and I think about that could work, and I write notes down and then take that into the next training session. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't. It's not like it is my whole life, but I'm not like unhealthily obsessed with it, I think.
So you're not an overthinker?
Nah, I don't think so. And I think that's if you overthink things, then you second guess yourself, and then that makes you a bad fighter. Like,
Are you one of those fighters that goes back and watches old tapes, the old legends, and so on?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
who's your favorite?
From back then, maybe Sugar Ray Leonard from the old times. Sugar Ray Leonard. I watched a lot of Conor Whitaker as well growing up. First Southpaw inspiration of mine. But yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard, just for his when he'd make that switch from being a gentleman outside of the ring, then he'd get in the ring and he'd just be a monster for 15 rounds. I love that about him.
But another Southpaw who's of more recent times, Manny Pacquiao, is he something you watch closely?
I like him. I'm a fan of his, but I don't really take anything from him because I don't think that's a style that you can replicate.
He's a freak
without being Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. He's something else, Manny.
What's one thing you've taken away from watching these greats? Is there something that's really stood out to you that you don't see in today's world?
I think their work ethic, and I think today people overcomplicate things and they try and calculate everything, and I think that just gets in the way of training. When I watch their old clips, they just do the running, do the skipping, do their pad work, do their sparring, and they just do it hard. And that resonates with me more than you got to count this many calories and fucking just get on with it.
In terms of those calories, which is really eye-opening, and people would love to hear this from somebody who's preparing for a fight. And you're, 5 or 6 weeks away from your big bout on the Gold Coast at Southport. Are there certain foods you steer away from? Is there certain foods that you go to when you're in camp?
Well, foods I steer away from, unfortunately, cookies, chocolate, lollies, ice cream, which is it's a test for me really, but yeah, no, it's just really a simple fighter's diet, man. Just chicken, rice, broccoli, eat plenty of fruit. You just use common sense. I think plenty of water. No processed food. I mean, just all natural stuff.
Is alcohol a part of your diet outside of training?
Never. I've never don't know what it tastes like.
Are you serious?
Never. Don't know what alcohol tastes like.
Wow.
Well, maybe there's more to that beard.
I did ask him that before the show.
That's interesting.
No, no. It's never interested me.
Well, do your parents drink?
Yeah, and I'm alright with. I hang out with people that drink, but it's just not interested in me in the end, I think.
So, what does a celebration look like for Jalen Tait after a win?
Just go back to the hotel room and have a good sleep for once.
Wow.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have that's pretty unique, actually.
Get back to training next day, and yeah. If you're serious about something, you got to be serious about it. And I feel like it's in the back of my mind as well. Like if I have one beer, I might lose all my superpowers or something like that. Yeah, you know, it's just a superstition I've had, I guess.
It's really admirable. Certainly from my behalf, and I know Ahmed thinks the world of you now.
Mate, young man coming up, fighter, girls will be flocking to him. They love their fighters and boxers. Being up in Queensland, beautiful weather all the time. To be that discipline is unbelievable, mate, honestly.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Well done, mate. Jalen, you've been amazing. Thank you very much. Tony,
thank you for having me.
Before we wrap things up, do you have any more questions for Jalen?
Yeah, I do. Jalen, in the week preceding the fight on the 20th of July, we want you to come back on and give us an update and tell us how you're feeling, whether there's been any abstinence or how you're feeling, 5 days out from the fight, and just come back to us and we'll be your biggest supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool. Yeah.
We'd love to have you on, mate. You've been a great chat.
No, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Jalen, where can people find you online?
On Instagram, Jalen the Wolf Tait. That's probably the main one. Yeah.
Well, one more before we let you go. What's the wolf signify?
The beard.
Yeah. No, I don't know where that came from. I didn't even make. That wasn't my choice.
Oh, really?
I had an amateur fight like a while back, and they had to make up posters, and then that was just on the poster under my face. I'm like, guess that's me forever, I guess.
Wow. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Jalen the Wolf Tait, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Jalen.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, everyone.